What's up, YouTube? Honeybee here, bringing you a new Mortal Kombat 1 video. In this video, we're going to be talking about some updates regarding some new stuff coming into Mortal Kombat 1, taking a look at some Teada things. Now, this is all factual information, so let's take a look at his Twitter. All right, so here we are on Ed Boon's Twitter. As you can see, there is a pinned tweet here with a little Teada teaser. I never made a video about this previously because to me it was just a 19-second teaser, but since I'm showing you guys stuff, we might as well take a look at this. It's pretty good. Like, the Teada combo that they show is pretty nice.
My losing streak against you ends today. Only if your combat has improved.
Look at that. Ooh. That looks pretty good. It's a pretty good combo. So, you know, we get to see a couple different stuff from Teada in this, right? We got some whip type normal moves. We have some kind of like teleport thing where he's switching sides, gets to like a kick, maybe that's an overhead or something, and then he has kunai as well. And then if you just look at this combo in general, it's a pretty slick looking combo. Like, that looks great. That looks great. Now they also have another thing with Teada here that we can take a look at.
You could just smoke bomb out of here
and miss this fight. Are you kidding?
That's pretty cool, like, intro, the way it's like directly looking at the camera like that. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. So if you didn't peep that already, Teada will be playable at EVO. They said here, we got a decent amount of Mortal Kombat 1 news to share with you all, starting with Teada, who will be playable the weekend of July 19th exclusively at EVO Fighting Game Tournament in Vegas. Now, let's go over the series of tweets that Ed Boon has over here. There's also some kind of golden Johnny skin. I don't know if people care. Let's take a look at the series of tweets that he has. There's 8 tweets here. Now, they're saying that Teada is going to be playable July 19th exclusively at EVO. For me, unfortunately, I will not be going to EVO, but for anyone that is going to be going, have fun using Teada. I think they said somewhere that the build, maybe, I don't know, we'll see, but if the build at EVO has like all the updates and stuff, dude, people are going to be talking about it a lot, likely on Twitter. So I'm going to have to keep my eyes peeled on that because I'm very interested to see if there's going to be any additional updates or like just clarifications on what's being said in these series of tweets that Ed Boon has. If people are going to like play that at EVO and then talk about it, we'll see. So yeah, he's saying Teada build will also contain upcoming bug fixes and balance patch with significant improvements to roster fighters like Natara, serious buffs. They're not even saying like what that could mean, but serious buffs for Natara. Now, Natara is one of those characters that has been seen as pretty much a low tier character for the entirety of the game at this point. So going to be very interesting to see what's going to change with her. Li Mei, new pop-up combo string could be interesting. If the string itself has like extended range of some sort, that could be pretty big for her, because that's generally like one of the most common complaints about Li Mei is one that she has a lot of gaps, and 2 that she doesn't have good range. But the thing about Li Mei is like when she hits freaking hard. So like if they gave her a meaningful new string, it could definitely shoot her up in the tiers. Quan Chi, new portal boot kick. Not sure how that would work. He has his, what is it, stand 4, like it's like a 12 frame high that like essentially tracks and goes full screen. What else would they give him for that? Because if they give him like an overhead boot kick or a mid boot kick or a low boot kick somehow that can complement that, it could make Quan Chi a lot better. Scorpion buff to EX teleport. I wonder what that's going to be like, honestly. If you have thoughts, leave that in the comments below. We have crazy buff to uppercut jump cancel. I really like that. Because right now, as it stands, you can, if someone jumps at you, you can down 2 them, and if you hold up and block at the same time you down 2 someone as they're attacking you, as long as it's like a counter hit, anti-air, you can spend 2 bars of meter if you hold up and block to then continue a combo. You'll jump into the air and then you'll hit them and you can get a combo. But the thing about this is just that it's pretty resource heavy. 2 bars of meter is generally a lot to be spending on any one single thing, and generally the damage that you get isn't even that great. Like, I'm wondering what a crazy buff would be, because if they decided to just make it 1 bar instead of 2 bars to do it, right? Like, that doesn't scream crazy buff to me, but I honestly think it would be fine if they did that, but we'll see what happens. I think like 1 bars instead of 2 would be fine, but I'm all for a crazy buff and to see how that affects it. Teada build also has buffs coming to Cameo Fighters, including, I'm hoping there's going to be even more than what's listed, but Frost new ambush move. So that's one of the main drawbacks about Frost right now, who in my opinion, and I think a lot of people's opinion, is quite likely the worst cameo in the entire game right now. And I think a big reason for that is that Frost has absolutely zero ambush moves as it stands. She has just her full screen low freeze. That's good, but actually I don't even think keeps you frozen as long as like the Sub-Zero cameo freeze keeps you frozen. And then she has that ice snowflake thing that she can summon, and you can get some dirty shit with it, but it's just, yeah, like you have to set it up. It's kind of whatever, and like it has, generally her stuff has kind of long cooldowns. She also has like that neutral cameo move that does a big ice burst, and then if you hold it, she does like a flurry of like little ice punches or whatever, and that's kind of all she provides. So not a whole lot. When they say new ambush move, well, we'll see like what that's going to be. That could potentially help, because if she got like a really useful new ambush move and then you pair that with what she currently has with this like full screen low, that is a decent like anti-zoning tool. You have like her setup stuff as well. If she also has a good ambush move in there, that could be all the difference, especially when you consider that like there's cameos in this game that are essentially 1 move cameos, and they can be really good, like Goro, for example, who currently only really is using the punch, but that's good, and that's all you really need. You know, Janet, pretty much you only see people using the hop skip punch. She has other useful tools, but you can have 1 great move on a cameo and suddenly that cameo is amazing. So we'll see. Scorpion, new ambush move. That's interesting. I'm very curious to know what that new ambush move will be, because Scorpion, for those of you that don't know, was like my main cameo choice for maybe like the first at least 6 months of this game, maybe longer. I was using Reptile Scorpion like a lot, but I've kind of stopped using Scorpion essentially like when Janet came out. I kind of felt like Janet kind of provided everything that Scorpion does, but she also just hit a lot harder, and you know, using the wall and stuff was kind of fun and shit like that. So I kind of stopped using Scorpion, and then now like with Movado, I'm on this Movado like train right now. I'm just loving using Movado with Reptile. So, well, I'm very interested to see what's going to happen with Scorpion. Now, Sector missile improvements. I'm wondering if that's it. I kind of felt like Sector's missiles are already good, but maybe his other moves are a little bit lackluster with like his launcher and his flamethrower stuff. So interesting to see what they're going to do with that. Cyrax bomb improvements. Interesting. I'm curious to know what they're going to do with that. Goro, many new ambush cancel options. I wonder what that's going to be like. Are those going to be like full bar things? I don't know. Goro being stronger is a little bit scary, because Goro is like, he's super strong with like characters like Tanya and Kung Lao, who are kind of obnoxious, right, with their armor. And now if you just give them like another great option, I don't know, we'll see. But I do want to see like what kind of changes they're going to have for him. Much more buffs, improvements not listed here. I'm happy to see that. We will be releasing detailed notes on Teada build early next week. That's very interesting that they're actually going to give us patch notes before a patch comes out. That almost never happens, so looking forward to that. These aren't the only buffs and improvements coming to MK1. Not too long ago, we asked for feedback on which 5 roster fighters you felt could use the most love. Same for cameos. Which 5 needed the most love? For roster fighters, these seem to appear on many of your lists. So we have Geras, Havoc, Shang Tsung, Sub-Zero, Quan Chi, Nitara. Stay tuned, it says. Now, they already mentioned Nitara is getting some serious buffs. Shang Tsung buffs, Havoc buffs, Geras buffs, okay. Sub-Zero buffs, Quan Chi buffs. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with some of these characters. Hopefully they don't go too crazy, but I do want them to bring these characters into a good spot in the game so you see them more in like the competitive setting. So we'll see what happens with that. I was fully expecting more ambush moves to dominate the survey, but at the end of the day, it seemed like more fighters, roster or cameo always seemed to be the most wanted feature. He had a poll for cameos. What do you want to see more of? More cameo fighters, more ambush moves, and more special moves. Okay, yeah, more cameo fighters. I think the masses would generally want that, but it was actually a decently close poll if you look at that. And then he says, finally, big thank you to all the MK fans who keep our games among the top selling even 9 months after our launch. And you'll see that Mortal Kombat is currently still ranked 19th on the top selling May 2024 top 20 best selling games. And yeah, Mortal Kombat is still up there. So, you know, interesting. There's definitely some interesting stuff there. I'm very curious to know if people going to Evo will be playing Teada on this new build. Like, are they going to be able to test like what are these new Nitara buffs and so forth, whatever. What are the new cameo changes? I don't know if they're going to be able to test that, but if they can, I'm definitely going to be looking to see what they have to say about it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is going to be definitely a big update. It's kind of like one of those things where it's weird how like they have like one of the biggest tournaments, right? One of the biggest tournaments happening, and then they just change stuff right after. Where like, you know, Evo is coming up this you know, July 19th to 21st weekend, and then I'm pretty sure on the 23rd is when Teada is dropping, and then everything's going to be shifted. So it's like, all right, congratulations to XYZ player for winning Evo. Now the game's completely different. It's kind of weird, but you know, it makes sense, I guess. You don't want to completely change it right before Evo, but I kind of wish that they just had this massive patch right after Final Combat, so that going into Evo, it would be a completely different type of game. Ideally, that's what I would have liked to see, but it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts in the comment below, and make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the video if you're new. Plenty of more Mortal Kombat 1 content to come.